Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Emerald the Quilter, and we are making all of the quilts from the Perfect 5 Quilts book by It's So Emma. These quilts here are the first 4 from the book. They required 1 charm pack, and we are moving on to the next category, which are the 2 charm pack quilts. So if you do not have your book, Perfect 5 Quilts by It's So Emma, you're gonna wanna get your copy to sew along with me. This is the first quilt in the 2 charm pack category that we're going to be making. This is called the Biscotti Quilt. And the fabric that I've chosen is called Rose Lane by Beverly Mccullough of Riley Blake Designs. And to make this pattern, you're going to need 64 charms. So I'm gonna open this charm pack and we're gonna take a look at these fabrics. Here is Rose Lane. I've been saving this charm pack for a long time. I bought it years ago after it had even come out. I think I bought it when it was on sale, and I had never done anything with them. And I love Beverly Mccullough's fabrics. This is going to be the perfect quilt to make with her fabrics. So let's just open this up. And I know that I'm going to want to use all of the teals. And what I love about these fabrics is that they're very pretty, they're very girly. I love the cats. She frequently uses cats in her fabrics. I love these itty bitty little flowers. And I also like that there's 2 of each print so far. So I'm going to be using definitely all of these teals. I'm going to set this aside because it has some white in it. And I'm going to use all of these pinks. And these are actually the same fabric patterns, just in different colors. And I really like that. This right here is probably my favorite print. And I actually already ordered the backing fabric. I ordered a solid, and I took some time looking for what I thought would be the right shade of like pink. So when we unbox that order today, we're gonna cross our fingers to see if it matches. Okay, here's another one of those hexes with the white on it. So I'm not sure if we're gonna use those. I definitely am sure about not using these. So all of these white ones, they're gonna have to be set aside, but they are just darling. Beautiful. Hold on to your low volumes and background charms because I have a plan for those in an upcoming quilt. Okay, so then there's these 2. And let me just see how many I have here. So I've got, I'm gonna spread these out. So that I can count them. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I have 16, and I needed, so 16 times 2 is 32. I need 64. So I definitely want to include maybe at least one of the hexes, and have to see what I'm going to take out. So I think I'm going to take this one out because it's so pale. And set that off to the side. And then I just have to decide which of these do I like more. It's hard to pick. I think I want to go with this red because there's already a lot of this green and pink in the fabric. I like how this red one pops out. So I'm gonna set these to the side. And remember, save them because we are gonna be using them for one of the quilts. And now it's time for me to cut these up according to the instructions. And this is where you're gonna need that book. So if you don't have it, you can order it in the description below. And then I will show you all of the pieces laid out. Now I've got all of my fabrics cut out. These are my A units, B units, and then this ginormous stack of C units. Now the pattern calls for some backgrounds in charm packs. I did not use charm packs for the backgrounds. I just bought more yardage, and then I used this website I found to figure out how much yardage I needed for those. So I will put that website down in the description below. It's the first time I ever used that website, so I'm not sure how accurate it is. I may end up needing to buy more yardage, but we will see. And for today's video, I have more than enough that I need, and I'm gonna show you now how to make these blocks. So I have my sewing machine set up. I have white thread to match the background. My stitch length is set to 1.5, and I have this very handy tool. I forget what this is called, but it's made by Cluck Cluck Sew, and you use this to sew a straight line when you're sewing corner to corner. And the way you use it is you line up this red line here to your needle, and then you just trim it down at the bottom, and it helps when you want to avoid drawing lines on stacks like this. And I have 4 stacks just like this. And or if you normally iron to get that folded stitch line, you can avoid doing that completely by just putting this sticker. So it's kind of like a tape. And the way we're going to use it is lining up our A unit with our B unit right where we want it, and we're going to start stitching from here in the middle to the corner. So it's very important for this pattern that we start sewing on the top middle to the corner on the bottom. Otherwise our direction of the seams are going to be reversed. So I have some leaders here as well. And I'm going to start with some of my favorite prints, which are these here. They're like the green with floral. I'm going to tuck this underneath. And as I'm feeding the fabric through the needle, I'm gonna make sure that this corner down here continues to follow this red line. And I'm gonna see if I can zoom you in just a little bit so you can see a little better. There you go. All right. And so I'm just making sure that this corner is following the red line. Very good. And I'm going to do that for the rest of these. And if you hear that sound in the background, that is my dog Bella snoring. She's so loud. Okay. I'm so excited to be starting the second category of this book. When I bought this book, I was like, oh, this is a challenge and I want to make all of the quilts. And it drove me insane that the book was designed with like every unit and all the pictures, they're just solids and they don't necessarily like go with one another. The colors are repeated throughout the book, and I just thought it as a challenge to fill in with my own fabrics of my choice, and it is the best thing that I've done. I'm loving making all of these quilts, and it makes me want to make all the quilts in other books that I have, but I know that that is a long ways away. And my cat is over here trying to get my attention. Hi, Hobbs. So we'll see how many blocks I'm able to make tonight. If I can make these two right here, that's going to be a win for me. Just two more. And so I'm wondering, are you sewing along with me? Are you just watching? I love watching other quilters as I'm quilting and working on projects, and I'm always learning things from them. So if you have made any of the quilts, comment below. I would love to know what fabrics you made, which quilts you made, and let me know if you are also starting the 2 charm pack category along with me. So this is the last unit A. I'm just making sure that that corner's in there. All right, I'm going to cut. And here is my chain. It is folding up the correct way, and now I have to do the same on this side right here. And these lines, these seams, when you sew them, they need to be perpendicular, or I guess not perpendicular, they need to be parallel to one another. So let me cut these to show you. I'm gonna lay this down. And if you cut perfectly your pieces, you don't have to press back if you cut them perfectly, because the cut line, they will line up exactly. And so keeping that same rule where you're starting at the top, middle, going to the corner, remember that, and that will help you sew in the correct direction. So let's just do one and then see how that comes out. Okay, press them open this way and then that way, and it's perfect. That is exactly the way, the direction that they're supposed to be going. And because there's going to be so many cutaways, every single unit is going to have a cutaway, I'm going to cut these exactly 1/4 inch away and then sew them so that I have lots of itty bitty little half square triangles, because I love this fabric and I know that I can reuse it, and I definitely will. So now I'm going to continue sewing the rest of these. Let me just lay them all out. Okay, those are ready. I'm getting another leader. Starting at the top middle. And if you are new to quilting, this quilt is, I would say, great for beginners because you do not have to start stitching on the corner. You're stitching on a long length of fabric, and that helps keep the fabric from being eaten by your feed dogs. And so it just goes by easier than if it were in the opposite direction. And if you've been quilting for a while, this pattern is just dessert. It's easy and it's fun. And I'm gonna need some more background squares. Let's see, how many more do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. And I think for a while, this quilt that I'm working on right now is going to be the last one that I work with where I have a light background. Just because now I have quite a few of those and I would definitely like to mix it up. I love quilts that have darker backgrounds in them and I want to try that. And in my recent purchase with Fat Quarter Shop, I went bold and I bought a very dark background. Oop, I almost sewed it the wrong way. And I can't wait to open that box up. It has been in my sewing room for several weeks now, and I still have not opened it up. I will open it with you, and I will show you which fabrics I plan to work on with next, and also that background that I picked out. And I hope you like it just as much as I will. Okay, this is the last piece. All right. Now I'm going to take these to the table and show you what I have. To construct this block, we're going to need this unit in the center and one of these on each side, so they should be going the same direction. Then these as well, going the same direction. Okay, then we're going to have one of these in each corner. just like that. Move this up so you can see it a little better. Okay, so I'm going to make 2 of these because that's the fabric that I've already prepared. And while I'm at it, I did carefully cut these, and I'm going to go ahead and sew them so that they don't get any more distorted than they already are. I also don't want to lose them and then maybe later be discouraged to sew them. So if I start sewing them early, I will have more and I will continue to do so more often. So let's go back to the sewing machine and we're going to now sew this block together. Now I have my units laid out next to me on the left along with my pattern book so that I don't make any mistakes. Not that that's a guarantee, but I am going to start by sewing these, just getting them out of the way. I didn't even measure them. I don't know what size they're going to end up. They might be like 1.5 inches and then finish around 1 inch. And if they're not all exactly perfect, I can always trim them down, although I probably won't because I tried to make sure that, you know, I stitched accurately using this tool by Cluck Cluck Sew, the tape, and then I tried to cut accurately 1/4 inch away from the stitch, and so they should all be approximately the same. But they are going to be so cute. I don't know what I'm going to make with them. Maybe I can make a pillow. A pillowcase. That's always the thing I think a quilter goes first to. I can make a matching pillow or a table runner. We'll see. We'll see. Because it's going to be a lot. So with each block, you get, let's see, you get 8 cutaways. And since I'm making 2 for this video, I should have 16 cutaways. And being that there's, I think, 32 of these blocks, what's 32 times 4? Well, that's how many cutaways there are going to be. It's a lot of cutaways. It's a lot of precious fabric, and if you really love your fabric, although you could use these as leaders and enders, that's something that I have done before with fabric that I've used over and over and over, but this particular fabric, it's the first time I'm using it, so I would like to use it again, especially because I think it's out of print. It's been so long since I've purchased this fabric. Now this one is just all kinds of awkward, but we're gonna make it work. I'm gonna center it. It's just those perforated edges, you know, they make it so that it's not 100% accurate. But since this is gonna be a secondary project, you know, it'll be fine. So now my cutaways, they're taken care of. I'm going to take these here, sew them together. I want to match my edges. And there's the cutest little ladybug. Do you see that ladybug? I thought that was just another red dot, but no, those are ladybugs. And now I like this fabric even more. I tried to show my son a ladybug at the playground, and it was so tiny he didn't notice it. So we're gonna have to try again. He's really noticing all the flowers though. He loves picking flowers. And so when we go to the playground, we'll go down the slide a couple times, and then he's just gotta stop to pick some flowers. He really is so sweet. So matching up this edge, and this edge is a little bit longer, so I'm just trying to be careful, making sure I go corner to corner. I need another one of those. Match it up again. And I did press according to the pattern. So the pattern said to press towards the background, and that's what I did, obviously, because you can't press another way. Well, I guess you could press towards the dark, but I just pressed towards the background like it instructed. Matching up these edges. I've got the bottom two left to go. That one was just a little off, so I gave it a very small tug, and I matched up those corners just right. Okay, last one. Very good. Now it's time to repeat the exact same thing on the opposite side. And let me just check, which way do I press? Okay, so you're gonna press these corners out. Okay, press those out. And then that center unit, you're gonna press inwards. And I'm just gonna finger press those. I like to take them to the iron at the end. Make sure that everything is facing the right direction. Yes, okay. It is. And I'm gonna save this whole chain for later. So I'm not gonna deal with this at all right now. I just wanted to get them sewn and safe. So those are good. And then these are ready for the next seam. Getting another leader. Matching up my corners. sew these center units now. And then just 2 more. These are the bottom pieces. Now I'm going to lay these out, and I'm going to grab my pins. I have 2 seams left, and then these blocks are completely done. They are going pretty quick. That's exciting because I was intimidated by how many of the C units that there were, but it also helps to be making only 2 at a time right now, because it would be quite an undertaking if I was trying to make all of them at the same time. And I just don't have time to do that. Okay, I'm laying them out, making sure they're facing the right direction, checking my pattern. Pressing these. Okay, so those are good. Let me grab my pins. Random paper clip. And I'm going to start with the top. I'm going to have my seams touch one another. Pin, pin, and I'm only going to pin at these seams. So I'm not going to do one in the middle. It's really not that long, so I don't think it's necessary. I'm going to go ahead and pin both sides since there's room to do that. There isn't always, or sometimes it just flops on top of one another and it can be annoying, but it's looking good right now. Okay, so there's one. Now I'm going to do the other. Last piece. Pin and pin. All right. So now I can sew these, grab a leader, match up my corners, pull my pin out right before it gets to the needle, and then I'm going to check these edges here. other needle, this other pin, and then take that out right before. I'm gonna do the next one. This would be a really good spot. So if you, let me go back. If you are trying to chain sew all of these blocks, right? If you pinned all, I think 32, at this part right here, at this point, this would be a really good area to sew all of them just like this, because you don't have to cut right afterwards. So it would get easier. It would just be a lot in the beginning with all those cutaways. Turn this around. Put in another leader. This is the last seam. How exciting! And check my edges again. Oh my goodness, this pin, it bent. When did that happen? Did that happen just now? Okay, well, I'm gonna keep it until I decide what to do with it. Okay, one more. Then I can press these out for you and show you on my cutting board. These should finish at 9 inches. We will see how close I got to that. And that's with what I considered some pretty accurate sewing, cutting, and then really only pressing when necessary. So not at every single step, but these are ready for pressing. Let me open one up for you. There it is, yay. Okay, let me get this to the cutting board for you. Here's the quilt block that I made. All done. It was simple, easy to make. I have 2. They are identical, and I can't wait to make the rest. So I hope you are enjoying sewing these with me. This is the Biscotti Quilt Block, and now I'm going to show you the box that I have. Here is my box, and it's been a little while since I placed the order. This is from the Fat Quarter Shop, and because it was my birthday last month, I got a gift card from my parents, yay! And they know that I love to quilt, so they sent me the gift card, and I thought ahead and I purchased fabrics for the upcoming quilts that I want to make. So this is Florida Volume 2. And I picked this out because I already had Florida, the original, Volume 1. This is by Ruby Star Society, Sarah Watts. And now I have both, so both volumes of Florida. And I wanted to show you the quilt that I plan on making called Ginger Snap. It's the second one in this category. And these fabrics are so pretty in person. So this one, let me take it out of the bag. This one is going to be for the binding. This is going to be the background fabric, not the background, sorry, the backing. And put these back. this one, it's so pretty. This one here is the background. So I am mixing it up. I'm going bold. This is, what is this? Is this a grunge called Speckled? It is, I don't know if it's grunge. It's called Speckled Metallic Succulent. And it's RS5027-107M. So if you're interested in using the same background as I am, or if you just like this fabric, it's called Speckled. And I love it. So it's got some gold, purple, and greens on it. And it's gonna go just lovely with both charm packs. So there's both of them. And this is the second quilt that I'll be making from the 2 charm pack quilt category from the Perfect 5 Quilts book by It's So Emma. And then here is the backing. Remember at the beginning of the video I mentioned that I crossed my fingers to make sure that this rose lane fabric was going to match. So let me just line it up and see. And that looks really pretty together. And there's this tiny little bud. Let me see if you can see that little bud right there. It is the exact same color, or it looks like it. I did pretty good for a computer screen. I did not buy this or see this in person. It was just all on the screen, and you know how stressful that can be. So I am very pleased. This is gonna look beautiful. The quilting is gonna pop on the back, and I cannot wait to get this one all done. So speaking of getting this Biscotti quilt done, in the past I was able to generally have 1 video a week for the most part, or at least that was the goal. Now that these quilts are getting much bigger, I don't know that I can keep up with that because they're just going to take so much more time. So I'm going to try for every 2 weeks, see how that goes, and you'll probably find that if you're sewing along with me, that it's going to take you twice as long as well. And we will see how it goes from there. So I'm going to shoot for 2 weeks, every 2 weeks a video, and make adjustments as need be. So thank you again for quilting with me, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye.